What a get. 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 This is amazing right here.
Pinch. All right, everybody, welcome to another Monday night episode number 67 of Beyond the Court. I'm Sudsy, obviously. Excuse me. We're still adjusting. Let's bring in Leo Vasquez right away. Get the party started in here. Leo, what are your thoughts here, buddy?
Ooh, it's like Monday night racquetball. You know, there's no more Monday night football, so tonight is Monday night racquetball. What do you think about that, huh?
I think it is, man. It was a great weekend. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about the Beach Bash. We're going to talk about some IRT, LPRT stuff. At some point, we're going to bring Todd Boss in. It was a really busy weekend. It was hot. It was sunny. It was electric, but we'll definitely get to that. And, then we have an event this weekend. We have an IRT tournament that we didn't really even put on the schedule. I'm not sure if Simone put it on our schedule. In the pre-production meeting, we did not discuss it. I know that. But, Leo, it's something interesting that I didn't even share with you. I'm sharing with you the first time while we were down at the Beach Bash. I had at least, I'd say about 10 or 12 people come up to me and say, why don't you guys, do the show every single Sunday night? And I said, we just, life, busy, work, this, that. And I think what a lot of people don't know is that we really don't get paid to do it. We actually incur some expenses. So when we do those little fundraisers and whatnot, it's fun. But at the end of the day, it's just doesn't always make sense for us to be able to jump in and do it,
Well, yeah, that's not the first person that I've heard from that's asked us about it. I used to do this. I started back with ProRacquetball.net with Ed Arias when I started first getting into video and, watching matches, and whether it was either trying to help commentate or produce or just be involved. So, maybe that's something that we need to kick around. I've had a lot of people ask me, a lot is whatever you consider a lot, but people have messaged me and say, hey, when's the next show? Or, when are you guys going to get together and do another show?
Mm-hmm.
So, that maybe that's something that we can kick around. I know we've got some intermittent sponsors, some people that really look out for us. So maybe it's time for us to move forward.
Yeah, just kind of get back maybe on a regular schedule and just, full disclosure, don't mind this little thing here on my lip. I don't know if you could see it.
Oh, did you get hit in the face?
I did not get hit in the face. It's just a little sunburn, maybe a little stress. Who knows? I don't know what you call it, but
how's the hand?
You know what? That's a great question, and Simone's going to bring it up. So I did go back to the doctor today. He checked it out. That's the original break right there, Leo. You can see how it looks like it exploded, the 5th metacarpal there. It's not much better. You can see that's today. That's just a few hours ago, an x-ray there. So what they're checking is it's aligned right, it's healing properly. He's going to see me in another 2 weeks. And I tell you, like I played this weekend. It wasn't the smartest thing. I did attempt, but then caught myself from diving once or twice. Obviously had a pretty good run. Thank God I had a fantastic partner as well. But it's good. It's healing, feeling better. And I just got to be smart and not lift heavy things. That's for sure. Charles, I got to say hi to Charles George. What's up, partner? How are you? Great seeing you. I know you had an amazing time. We might have to bring Charles in, give his perspective too. He's been at some good events, and he was on the court when this happened.
Well, I asked in the chat if you were at the beach bash, so I do want to pay attention to the chat tonight. That's why Charles says he was there. So if you were watching tonight and you were at beach bash, let us know what you liked about the event. Let us know what the best part about it was for you. Unfortunately, I had seriously planned on going, and the timing didn't work out for me. So sorry, I missed you guys. I know we had talked about me going, but big thanks to MC Mike Coulter for trying to make it happen for me. Suds, I know you also offered a little bit of help to get me there, but hey, I want to hear from the fans. You guys were there, so if you're watching the show tonight, let us know in the chat what you thought about the event, what you really liked about it. I saw a lot of good, cool pictures. The karaoke night, a lot of racquetball I heard, and a lot of sun.
Yeah.
Where's your sunburn?
Well, you can't really see it, but let me tell you something. I think I used at least a bottle of sunscreen a day. Veronica laughs at me. It's pretty funny. And I do know, Todd did text, Leo, Todd Boss did text, and he said he might be running a little late. But he said, just get started if you can, and he will be there. Wait, hold on. Simone is going to
hear his perspective.
Simone has to do something right now. So
we got a big show tonight. For those of you that may not know, a big show. We got a lot of hot topics, is what we like to call them. We're going to do a recap of the 2023 AppCon 3-wall ball beach bash. We're going to talk about the LPRT title race. If you haven't been keeping up with the LPRT, we're going to catch you up tonight. We're gonna give you some scenarios. Suds and I were talking before the show in our little pre-production meeting. There's not many tournaments left in the season. We're also going to get to the IRT title race. We're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk some DLR, big topic of this weekend, not just racquetball, but pickleball.
Yeah, we talked about it, and Todd knows a lot about it, and Todd's going to be in a second, and then we'll get the show started. But I do think it's quite interesting, man. I heard a lot of crazy stuff about pickleball. I was talking to Jonathan Clay today, and the U.S. Open of pickleball is next month. Do you know how many participants they have at that event?
It's over 2,000.
3,300.
Oh, is it 3,300? Yeah,
And
I know it was a lot.
Do you know how many spectators they expect?
No.
20,000 plus.
Wow.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. No, I believe all that. I keep up with as much as I can.
He's the official apparel.
Yeah. Well, he's got good information. I mean, he's selling. He's a vendor at those events, so
he knows what's going on for sure.
But I'm a big fan of DLR pickleball. I do follow DLR. We'll get to that later in the show. He was drafted by Major League Pickleball. This Major League Pickleball thing, actually, I actually played in the first Major League Pickleball tournament here in Dreamland. I played in the amateur side. Don't get confused here. They just like racquetball. They have a pro divisions and they have amateur divisions. So it was my first tournament, and I was there in Dreamland and Dripping Springs, and the first Major League Pickleball event was held there, and it started out really small, and now it has grown, and now it's grown to where they have a Premier League and a Challenger League, kind of like a double A, and they only have room for, I think, 48 of the top pickleball pros in the world, and then they have these players that come in from the Challenger League, and believe it or not, DLR was the second highest ranked player in the draft in the Challenger League.
Well, that's super cool. Todd has a lot of pickleball info. We'll get to that too. Let's take a quick commercial break. Mike Locker, what's up, buddy? It's funny. I was just reading your post earlier today. Yeah, that's right. Run by former racquetball people. We're going to take a quick commercial, and then we're going to bring Todd Boss in, and we're going to get right to the beach bash. All right?
The stat man.
Don't move. We'll be right back. we exist. Racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play.
Play racquetball.
Jules was a crowd favorite. All right, let's, Simone, can we bring Todd Boss in? Is the boss man ready?
Push that button, Simone.
We're ready.
There he is, Todd Boss, Pro Racquetball Stats. First off, Todd, welcome to Beyond the Court once again.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Is that your lucky teal shirt, Todd?
Well, you guys were talking about it.
What is
Hey,
it?
show it off.
Oh,
show
look
it off.
Look at the pickleball. I don't know if
Hey,
I like that.
we're all racket sport fans here, except
You know
for
what?
squash. Those guys are jerks right now.
You know what? I don't disagree with anything you just said, and that's a good start. But Todd, let's be honest. All right, we have to discuss why. One of the first reasons when I called you and said, "Would you consider coming on the show?" And then I'm going to kind of hand it off to you and Leo, and we could just discuss it. We know Veronica won the pro singles, the women's pro singles finals. Daniel, not surprisingly, won the men's pro singles and the doubles. Veronica lost in the finals of doubles with Amy. And, before I kind of hand it off, and Leo, you take the lead with Todd. I'm talking to Veronica today, and you guys know I wanted to get her on the show. And I said, man, Leo, you know this to be true. Just like we talked about Brenda Limey after Vegas, and Todd, you were there too. I said, babe, you were it. I mean, everybody in Hollywood Beach was talking about seeing her play. And here's something fantastic for you guys. So we're in the kitchen an hour ago, and I go, hey, so how many times have you, I know you never played a one-wall tournament, but how many times have you hit against a one wall, like a one-wall court? And she said, never. I said, so the first time you ever hit one-wall racquetball was Thursday against Carla? And she said, yeah. I said, well, when was the last time you played outdoor racquetball? And Todd, you could probably find that, but it was Huntington Beach. She said like 15, 16 years ago. So yeah. I'm just laughing. And the point being was this, guys, and all the fans and everybody watching, thank you again for watching. I said, I can't be here and oh my God, my wife, Veronica, but like, I know you guys were talking about it and everybody there. So I'm going to hand it off, but I'm just, as a husband, as a player, as a fan, so proud. I mean, she's literally changing shitty diapers and then walking on, returning serves. And it was so impressive. And I just love her to death. And it was incredible. So anyway, what'd you guys think?
Todd, you go first, man. You're the historian. You know more about outdoor than I do. I'm a fan, so I'm going to go second.
Well, without a doubt. So Veronica stepped on a court, beat Carla Munoz, who's won the last four, outside of Beach Bash, she's won the last four three-wall singles majors that have been held. Wow. She's basically essentially unbeatable in singles, beating the likes of Hall of Famers and whatnot. Then in the semis, she takes out Kalani, who is not, who has one-wall experience. Kalani has a one-wall court at her home club in Chesapeake, Virginia. And then the finals, she takes out the three-time defending champ Holly, 21-14. And the thing that struck me while watching the match, and the thing that a lot of the players, the fans were kind of oohing and ahhing about, was, Vera was taking these shots, so just like in three wall, there's quadrants. You have open serve, and then if you score a point, you have quadrant serves, right? And so usually you can try to get points on people's backhands, but people were serving her backhand, and she was hitting these backhands from above shoulder height, just a half inch off the ground, and just rolling them out. And people are like, you don't hit those shots. That's what I thought was really impressive by her performance this weekend. Those shots in particular.
Yeah, I watched as much as I could. Even Suds, I think you even showed the warm-ups. I was really impressed. I'm new to outdoor, but I'm not new to racquetball, that's for sure. And I do keep up with outdoor. So I saw somebody that looked like they had been playing outdoor for a while. I mean, she looked very comfortable out there. I don't know the strategy on one wall other than there's one wall and out the door. All right. And so the backhands for sure. I mean, Wonder where she learned that from. But the way she carried herself, against these women that play on the tour, indoor, full-time, outdoor, all the time. So I was really impressed, man. It was fun to watch. I'm friends with Veronica, so it was fun to see her win. It was kind of cool, like you said, Suds. I know you don't say enough about her, but going from super mom, like the other moms that we see on tour now that have kids, they go from taking care of the kids to stepping on the court and just being a monster, and that's what she looked like on the outdoor court. She looked like an outdoor monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, the atmosphere, just the people around it and watching, and her ability to adapt was super impressive. And I've said it all the time, and I'm on record saying she plays full time. She's top 3 player in the world, and the distractions. It's just difficult with the kids and what we're doing now. But in life. But at some point, who knows? I mean, in the meantime, I tell you, Todd, we both really enjoyed the outdoor game, and it looks like she will, likely be in Vegas, which will be fun.
She was the last seed. She was the last seed.
Yeah, Todd, I know you looked that up. You did, right? You did some research on that.
Yeah. She's definitely the highest seed to have won a singles, a one-wall singles tournament. I think there was a case where like maybe Longoria entered Vegas a couple years back, and she was seeded like 10th because she had no points. But no. Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm not blowing smoke up your wife's, but she's only played the tour full time, basically one season, and that was 2008, 2009, and she finished 6th. There was a season where she played 3 events, she made the semis in all 3,
wow,
and that was it, and she finished like right outside the top 10.
I didn't even know that. When was that?
That was 15, 16.
That's
3
amazing.
events played, 3 semis made.
Wow. Yeah, that was. I mean, that was when I started really coaching Team Ecuador, Todd, and I'll never forget. It was at that U.S. Open where she lost in the semis to Paola in 4 games. She was down 10-5 in the first, comes back and wins 12-10. But Cliff sits down next to me, Cliff Swain, and he goes, "She could be the best player in the world." And something that's really cool, Leo, for you. You said you don't know strategy about the one wall. And Todd, I think you can quote Kane or what he said about the purist. I agree with that. You have a small area, right? The smallest possible area to hit a ball, keep it in play, and show what kind of racket skills you have and ability to continue that. And also serve and return. There's no back wall to help you in case there are no sidewalls, right? If you're not sure, rip a blast or a jam or a wide angle, or hey, if I'm in super trouble, I can go to the ceiling or flick it off the back wall. And Todd, tell everybody, it was interesting what you said Kane had said about it being the purest form of racquetball.
Yeah, I think it was during COVID, and I don't remember the forum he said this, but Kane knew that he was going to go play Vegas. I think it was 2020. And the only thing, the closest thing to his house was a one-wall court, like in San Antonio or something random like that. And so, yeah, he was quoted, and he said, he's practicing on it. And his opinion was that playing one wall essentially forces you to focus on your angles, to focus on putting the ball down, to focus on passing shots. You can't bail yourself out by hitting a splat from 39 feet. And in that respect, that was the purity that he was talking about. And he's exactly right. And you watch the play this weekend, and it's always the shooters that come out to play, the guys that or the girls, the women that are excellent mechanics, trying not to go for too much, working the angles. The middle solves the riddle. That is pure racquetball. And man, I would love to see Kane in this tournament. Holy mackerel!
Oh my God, that would be. I mean, let's just thank you guys for like I said, I couldn't talk about Veronica. I appreciate that. She was amazing. She won the pro singles. They lost in the finals in a breaker in the doubles with the great Amy Roller. But as a husband, super proud. As a fan, just stunned and amazed at her performance, and love her to death. And hopefully we'll all get to see her play more. So again, babe, congrats on an amazing event. And I can't say enough. But let's go right into Daniel. I mean, just jaw dropping.
Triple crown. He won the Triple Crown.
But let me tell. I mean, I become a fan. I become a fan sitting there watching him doing what it's really honestly like watching Kane play indoor when Kane's at his best. He's doing stuff that just others don't.
It looks both ways. I made a post on a comment today. To me, Daniel De La Rosa is the #1 player right now in the world for me for indoor and outdoor.
Yeah, no, Daniel never really got out of second gear. You know, like he gave up 19 points in total winning the singles. You know, he just never looked like he was really even trying.
Nobody pushed him.
You know, and the doubles, you know, they lost a game here and there, but you could tell when Daniel wanted to press and to kind of and try to drive the action. Just a very impressive. I'll give you another interesting stat. This one was pointed out to me by Vic Lebowski today. Is that with this win, Daniel becomes the first male to win the outdoor Grand Slam, so to speak.
The Triple Crown.
So, you know, he won singles doubles mixed at the tournament, but he also became the first person to ever win pro doubles at Beach Bash, Vegas, and Outdoor Nationals.
Yeah. Triple Crowns all the way around.
Up to this point, when you look at the past winners of Beach Bash, and here's another interesting point about One Wall, and this is I'll throw this out to the diehards, the New Yorkers. You know, the Beach Bash tournament was seminal for outdoor racquetball in general because it was the first time that the New York players really got out of New York and traveled to compete and got to actually play people from California or Florida or Michigan or Virginia or these other places where there's a lot of outdoor players. Mm-hmm. And their style of play is so unique. Now, Sudsy, you know, I know you were up there and playing in Sorega, and I remember watching. You were just, after a point, you're like, oh, okay, so I'm supposed to do this there, and I'm supposed to do that. It was like you were playing a whole different sport. Mm-hmm. These guys play a whole different sport. Mm-hmm. And now, all of a sudden, we're seeing De La Rosa, Javier Mar, Mercado last year, these indoor players that are really learning and adapting to the sport.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, Todd, and I'll tell you, it was interesting because not only, so it's it's cultural or it's geographical, right? Like New York plays one way, Florida plays another, California plays another. But let me tell you something interesting as well. Leo, this was crazy. The rules in each place are a little bit different. So you're like, you know, we're playing, Rocky and I are playing.
There's
Robert
a short
Sastry.
guy, 2 back guys.
Yeah.
Who do you ask first?
Yes,
Who's count call first?
Yeah, like they do a secret appeal, then a non-secret appeal. You know, we're playing, Rocky and I are playing Robert Sastry, who I think is, you know, absolutely one of the GOATs, no doubt, the Iceman. And Will Rowland, you know, the Warrior from New York. And it was funny, Todd, you would have. So, and then Nelson, who's another well-known outdoor player, is reffing. And just seemed like maybe the scale was tipping in favor to the calls going the other way. Sure. And at one point, I had to remind Nelson and the whole crowd, I'm like, hey, by the way, I was born and raised in New York. Just FYI. Yeah. But it was great. I mean, the banter, the excitement. You know, the way it's played, I got to be honest, guys. And
they talk good smack. They talk good smack to New York.
Yeah, but it's great. It's respectful.
Better than the Marina guys in California.
Yeah, it's a different kind of respect. Like it's a respect. Like for that hour, I'm not going to disrespect you, but I want to try to get the best out of you. And that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of the competitiveness. You know, when you're playing sports at a high level like that. And there's no doubt it was enjoyable. It was fun. And guys and fans and everybody, I kind of am enjoying outdoor a little bit more right now. I don't know what you both have to say to that, but I am. You know, like if you guys were in town and said, let's go play racquetball, I would. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if you said, let's go play some outdoor, I might be a little bit happier.
I'll give you a spoiler, Sudsy. So there's a Cup series, right? That basically accumulates points in the 3 outdoor majors, and the winners of the Cup Series at the end of the year get a cash bonus and prizes. And by virtue of you and Rocky winning the CPRT, you're, I believe, 5th right now in the Cup Series for the men.
Ooh!
So
really?
you go to Outdoor Nationals, you go to Vegas, and you get some more wins. You know, got to play more than one division, Sudsy.
Todd, I got a broken hand. So
why aren't you playing mixed with your wife? Play mixed with your wife. Get out there, play some singles.
Did anybody hit it? Did anybody run into it?
So there was one case, Rocky took a full cut, but as he's swinging, he knows and I know, and I just brought my hand across, and I kind of turned my body, and in my sick, demented way, I kind of stuck my face and shoulder out, saying, if you're going to hit it, I'd rather you hit here than this right now, because that would have been ugly. And then I did instinctively went to dive once. It's on video, but I landed on my right elbow instead and didn't even touch this part. But yeah, I didn't say I was that smart, but yeah, I mean, no, Todd, the reason I didn't was because I wasn't even going to play. You know, thank you to Mark Frank and Frank Hotels. You know, not to give him a plug, but just a fact. He actually got Rocky and I together and said, I would like you guys to go play. And,
cool.
you know, that's why we played. So thank you, Mark Frank. We love you. You know, you're a huge supporter of racquetball, myself included, and Rocky appreciates that as well. And I think Mark might do that again, Todd. You know, I think he might want to see Rocky and I go after some more cup series.
How was that playing with Rocky in that for you?
Easy. No pressure. No,
I mean,
no.
Shoot, Sudsy, you guys won 40 plus CPRT. You could have played 75 plus. You know, it's not too long before you can play 100 plus.
Easy.
You'd be playing against Marty.
Maybe play 75 plus with Rocky, and then convince Cliff to come out there, and you guys can play 100 plus.
Ooh, that'd be good. No, see, you know, I kept telling Rocky, I said, I think I played okay for not playing, you know, one wall tournament in 20 plus years. And I told Rocky, I said, you know, that's a testament to you, brother. I said, you know, he wanted me to be able to just get in there, grip and rip it. You know, don't worry. He knows I have the skills to hit the front wall, keep it in the lines. And if you really watch me play, I did that a lot. There wasn't a lot of touching. There wasn't a lot of Javier Mar slicing and cutting. And, you know, it was just go hit it harder, hit it at their body, hit it at their feet, move it around, serve up a storm, and maybe we'll have a good day. But Rocky, he's a legend out there. You know, he's just so good. And he takes all that pressure off of you to be able to do that. And yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome. But I want to
look at Amir. He said he had to ref a New York match and it was full of drama.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Todd, you have some experience. It is. I mean, it's part of it. It's part of it, and you know, it's fun. But Amir, what's up, buddy? And we definitely will be seeing Amir soon. I think Amir is in event number 7, the Treasure Coast series. But Todd, guys, what are your thoughts? I have some thoughts written down here. Some things that I noticed. Obviously, we can't say enough about Daniel and Javier. They were awesome. They played great. Kehlani and Holly, congratulations. You guys played great in the finals.
On the dubs.
Holly, you know, you were after obviously you lost in the finals to Veronica, but you were outstanding throughout the whole event. And Kehlani, you did your job. Scrappy athlete. You know, congrats on another great win. And then I have some more, but Todd, Leo, I'd love to hear, you know, some more things what you saw.
No, I think you got what I wanted to cover. You know, how about you, Leo?
Oh, as a fan, I sat at home and I watched it. I loved it. I felt JT's pain when they were having some internet issues. I've been there. I've done that. But he pulled it together. But I enjoyed watching it. That's all I really could do from home. I watched as much as I could. I loved all the matches. Big shout out to MC, Pigeen, Jen O'Meara. Everybody over there that helped those people put that event on. I know it's difficult. You know, they had to work with the city because of the park, but the view looked amazing. And super impressed with DLR, you know, the Triple Crown. That's tough to do in any sport, you know, to win 3 different events like that, especially when 2 of them are doubles.
Yeah. So. And to Todd's point, Todd, he was cruising. I mean, he was, if there was 5 gears, he got to like 3rd, maybe once or twice. It was impressive. And you know, let's end the beach bash with, yes, you know, number 1, thank you, Mike Coulter. Amazing, you know, making it happen. Obviously, Peggy, Jen O'Meara, Vic Lebowski, you know, making it run and doing all that. Belinda, I can't wait to see all your photos. They were awesome. I got to thank our Treasure Coast tournament director, Keith Lewis. He was a great babysitter. Helped Veronica and I out. There was one time where we had no choice. I had to go start my match while Veronica was ending. So Keith, thanks for watching Mateo and Jules, and we'll talk more about that. But we will be having some sort of a Simone. You want to tease him? Whoa! What is that?
Whoa! I heard that.
Oh, what was that?
We'll come back to that. Simone, Todd wants to see that. We'll talk about that another time.
Oh,
How many Uncrustables did Keith eat out of the kitty
No,
bag?
Rocky actually stole a few Uncrustables because he was
Oh,
hungry. So
I
I had
love
to
those.
feed him. But a couple of players that really stood out. All the
Yes.
ladies, amazing. Obviously Veronica, Holly, Carla, Erica, Alexandra, Kilani, Victoria, Leo. Victoria. How old is she?
15.
Victoria Rodriguez, unbelievable, scrappy.
Team dovetail.
Go watch her play. Hey, that's $20. Send it to Todd.
It's 100.
Todd, every time he says dovetail right there, $20 goes into your Venmo account.
Oh, it's a Todd. I get 100 from Mike, but then I got to give Todd 20. Okay, I see how it works.
Todd, did you see Victoria Rodriguez play Erica Mania? I mean, scrappy, not afraid, in it. She's got potential. She's going to be tough. Victoria, great job.
Good job.
The sky's the limit for you. Keep playing, keep at it, stay strong. You had no fear against Erica Mania, one of the best in the world, and it was a lot of fun.
She plays indoor, outdoor, and pickleball.
She just loves racquetball. Does she really play pickleball?
She does, and she's really good at it. So watch out.
Well, that's impressive. Let me get through this beach bash, and then we'll keep going. Joe Young, Thomas Gerhardt. I know, Todd, you know them. Man, those guys are tough, Todd. What's up? You know the deal with those guys.
Well, Joe is he won this title a few years back with I can't remember who he won it with.
The Joe Young.
He won it with Sebastian Franco. Now
they won the pro. That's wow. Doesn't surprise me. Joe is awesome.
I mean, so as hard and solid as Franco hits the ball, Joe is right there with him. I couldn't imagine those guys 7-8 years ago on a one-wall court. But we talked a little bit in Vegas. I think he won broadcast with me. He's fantastic on the broadcast.
We're gonna bring him on,
Joe.
If you are listening or watching, or anyone that knows Joe, I know Joe too. Tell him we're gonna bring Joe in. We're gonna bring him on at some point. Todd, I got another one for you.
Yeah.
Leo, I know you know these guys, but I know Todd's a big fan. Micah Rich and Jason.
Oh yeah.
First of all, great guys. Micah, he just hits absolute missiles. Todd, I know you're a big fan. Talk about Micah a little bit.
I mean, so Micah is one of those guys, kind of like Eric Mueller from back in the 90s, who you just kind of wish he had played the tour full time to see what he could have done. At a time when the Rojas brothers were 5-6 in the world, Micah was playing them in the clubs and competing with them. So you just got to, it's one of those kind of what ifs. He just never, he's never wanted to, that wasn't about a want, but, he was a fantastic indoor player. And then he just disappeared from the scene for years. Surfaces back up in Southern California. Jason Geis, who I played with when he lived in DC area. Jason has his own, bona fides. He won the Vegas title with Alvaro back in 2010. And these guys got together, they paired up, and they're a fantastic pairing, a lefty righty. Micah just hits bombs, as you said. Jason can hit bombs too. They're a very, very difficult team, and there's a reason why that they're the two-time defending outdoor national champs, where they beat, De La Rosa both in the finals in both of those years.
I know them both from indoor. I don't know if they started in outdoor first or indoor first, but I know them from indoor. And in indoor, they were ballers. I met Micah Rich at the national singles in Houston one time, and just like you said, Todd, Micah Rich shows up to the national. You could probably, I know you've got it. He shows up one year and he has like the tournament of his life. He's just like, I think he made it maybe to the quarters, which is big. For nobody to really know who you are in the national scene. Of course, everybody in California knew who he was. And same thing with Fat Lefty. That is Jason Geis's old alt.sport.racquetball or meet and play forum group. And I met Jason talking a little smack on the internet one day back and forth. And then guess what? I played the qualifier, I think, at the U.S. Open one year, and I had no idea who he was. And I'm in there warming up, and this guy is just like bombing the ball. And then we start the match, and little did I know that was Jason Geis. Baller for sure. They are. I mean, every time I keep up with outdoor or I'm watching outdoor, I'm seeing Rich and guys in the finals and winning titles. So yeah, they're ballers.
Yeah, and just to continue the chat because I have this fond love of outdoor right now. Todd, am I going to lose credibility with all the love I have for outdoor? Dylan Pruitt, what's up, buddy? Yo, Todd, Dylan can smack it. He's a good dude.
He made it to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, he played Daniel, and good luck with that. I don't know, Dylan. Maybe you and I would have had a better chance. Daniel's that good. But
Dylan's a DC area guy. He's not a lefty.
No.
That's an inside joke with Dylan. And no, he's got a ton of accomplishments in the outdoor world. Whether it's what he did this weekend. There's a couple of big tournaments in Stratton Woods outside of DC every year that he does well in. So yeah, he's legit.
I think Leo. I think that's going to be one of our plans. And Todd, I think you and I, Leo, should do a little tour of some outdoor events. Like I've been to Stratton Woods, and it's super cool. And me all of a sudden loving outdoor and maybe getting Veronica a little involved. It'd be fun. But, we'll start doing some love with the outdoor because that's kind of like the last thing I want to leave before we move on to some other topics tonight. And Todd, you can help me with this. Leo, we can definitely preach this. There's always been this kind of stigma or this thing, and I don't get it, Todd. Maybe you can help that, it's outdoor versus indoor. And I get it. Maybe there was at a time, Todd, and Leo, you and I are definitely predominantly indoor guys, right? And I'm on record saying, and I didn't mean this ever disrespectful, that the best indoor racquetball players go outside still and win. And that's not a knock. It was never a knock on outdoor players. First of all, I love the outdoor players. I love outdoor ballers. They're amazing humans, amazing racquetball players. But Todd, it was kind of like, well, if I go out to an outdoor event or Rocky goes out and loses or Daniel, this is what we do as our career, right? This is our professional living. I felt like we're supposed to win. It doesn't mean we're better than you. It just means maybe we win, maybe we don't. I don't know. But it's all we are racquetball. Just like your shirt says, Leo, like the shirts we have. I don't care if it's indoor or outdoor. At this point, put a damn racket in your hand, get a ball. I don't care if you're inside on a 20x40 or outside on a one-wall court. Just go play racquetball. We're, and I felt that this weekend. It was just awesome. It was just a good vibe, a good time. It's not indoor versus outdoor. We're all just one. Todd, can you just kind of talk about that a little bit? Thank you, Simone, for that picture.
I think it goes back to the origins. Back in '74, when the first outdoor nationals happened, the guys that organized it were two professors named Wallace and Wetzel. And they went to Bob Kendler at the time, who ran the NRC, and said, I want to get the top indoor players to come out and play it. So he drove down to San Diego. He made his pitch to Brumfeld, and Brumfeld brought along Dr. Bud and Keeley and even Marty Hogan, who was only like 15 at the time. And they all played. And what was interesting is that the indoor guys, they kind of jiggered the draw so that the indoor and the outdoor guys had to play each other first round. At the end of the day, Brumfeld won the event, but he, by beating a couple of these outdoor guys. But the next year, the reverse happened, and the outdoor guys kind of schooled the indoor guys. And then suddenly, Hogan eventually won outdoor nationals in '79, I believe. But then there was this gap where suddenly that was it. The indoor guys never played outdoor. You never heard of, Dave Peck or Yellen or Harnett,
Cliff,
any of those guys that dominated in the '80s. They didn't play outdoor, so there was there was a divergence. Now we're seeing it come back in, and I think that the starting of war and the bringing probably the biggest ambassador for it was probably Rocky, because Rocky's dad grew up playing outdoor. Was one of the guys that actually founded it back in the day, and Rocky had always played it, and suddenly he's bringing people in. There's a one wall event in 2004 in Florida, which wasn't called Beach Bash yet, but it was a seminal event because all of the pros played it. Cliff was there and Menino was there, and Sudsy, you might have even been there in '04. And so then these guys come down from New York.
Oh, that was Garfield, right? That was right here in Fort Lauderdale, the one we just played.
There was also an event at Garfield where You know,
I
like,
did. That was the last time I played. It was right around then. 03, 04, 05, like right there.
and that, you know, and so that for me, I think that's what we're now seeing is there's less of a there's still people that have only ever played outdoor. You know, guys like like a Brandon Davis in SoCal. Who's never
Phenomenal.
actually stepped foot in an
Baller.
indoor court.
Really? That's unreal.
Or if he has, I'm sure he'll correct me, but that's not certainly not what he's known for. But those guys are few and far between. You see a lot more of people that now do the crossover, and they're good in both disciplines.
Yeah, I mean, and that's and I tell you, it's so awesome, and again, they're so great. I can't say enough about them. You know, Rocky and I had the honor of playing like a Richie Williams, Marcos from Florida. Robert Sastry, Will Rowland,
Iceman.
Yeah, he's
the
phenomenal.
warrior.
You know, Thomas Gerhardt and Joe Young. You know, Rob Faharis. How do I say his last name, Todd?
Mijares.
Mijares. And his part, I forget. You guys are great, man. It was awesome. You make us ball. And, again, we're not going to get too into it because Simone doesn't want us to talk about it yet, Leo. But we'll talk more about that. And
look at that.
It's going to happen.
Cool.
And it's like a teaser. Let's call it a teaser.
Sure.
And, we'll leave it at that. Victoria Rodriguez, you missed it. We were blowing you up earlier. I don't know if you were online or not, but you were outstanding, amazing. And your love for the sport will only propel you to do things that you probably can't even imagine. And you made an impression on Veronica, on myself, on Jules and Matea, Victoria. So keep at it. Keep playing. Indoor, outdoor, we don't care. That's our message. Todd, Leo, anything else on Beach Bash before we move on?
Nope.
Nothing amazing.
I'm good. Let's move on to our. You want to show that picture again? Show that picture again. I love pictures. Thank you, Simone. No spring break for Simone. She's got to work.
Simone's showing pictures. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's look at that. I mean, you got Erica Mania, one of the best in the world, indoor or outdoor, I don't care. I think that's Carla down there hitting it behind her back. Rocky and Daniel. Rocky wanted a We Are Racquetball shirt in a tank top, so we're going to make that happen.
Of course he did.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Gotta show off the guns, man.
Yeah, we'll work
Board
on that
shorts to match.
Oh yeah. He was, you didn't know. You didn't know if he was. That's what he was doing all weekend. But he played a ton, man, and it was fun.
He's the outdoor king.
It was great. So anyway, all right. Simone, we're going to do a quick commercial. We're going to give some love to Frank Hotels. Todd, if you go to frankhotels.com, booking code SUDSY, and you'll get a discount. All right. So we'll take a quick commercial. Simone's going to send it. Then what do you guys want to come back with? IRT or LPRT? Todd, you're our guest. You pick. All right.
Let's talk. I think what we're going to talk about with LPRT is super interesting. So let's go there.
We'll be right back. Take a quick look at Frank Hotels. We are back. Todd, how's that banana? Simone said they caught you with a banana in the back. Oh, you got it. That's fine. We could do that here on
It's dinner.
Beyond the Court. Leo, real quick though, Leo, just remind the fans and the players and everyone, we want them to be engaged and talk. What do you got?
Well, the big part of our show is we like to hear from the fans. We try to keep the chat going. So we want to hear from you guys. If you have a comment or you have even a question, we've got, I don't know, Simone put our graphic up earlier, but we're joined by Todd Boss tonight. If anybody is new. So if you have questions for Todd, myself or Sudsy, type them in the chat. We'd love to answer them while we're live online tonight. So let's keep the chat going and get to the next hot topic, which Todd already mentioned, the LPRT title race. Season ending rankings are coming up. Is Paula in trouble? When does the season end? I went to the website and I only saw 2 events remaining on their calendar. Todd?
So
What you got for us?
right now, if you go to lprtour.com and pull up the rankings, Paola is 266 points ahead of Monse.
Quick
But
question. Why is there a half point?
You get like half a point for so you get two. So basically, the LPRT scoring goes like this: you get 200 points for winning on a regular event, 140 for the final, 75 for the quarters, 50 for the semis, 25 for the 16s. However, on top of that, if you lose in the quarters in 3 games, then you get like a fraction of a point for winning that extra game. That's where these little fractions come in. That makes sense.
Sorry for that. Go ahead.
So
Wait, Todd, I'm sorry.
I'll-
Now you
I'll do
opened up a can. So now Todd, I'm serious because I know you could explain this better than anyone. So for a simpleton like myself,
yeah,
why are ranking systems so like complicated, right? Like why isn't it? Well, full disclosure, and you could smack me if you want, via virtually. You assisted me with something that I asked you to, and it's pretty simple and direct. Why can't that be done? And it has to do with the ranking system. Why can't that be done, Todd, on a scale like for the Pro Tours?
Smack me with that IRT thing, Todd, because I'm so confused on that too.
So you have to have the best, most efficient way to maintain both accurate seeding for your events on an ongoing basis and to determine a year-end championship is to have rolling points. If I used, for example, just season-to-date points, then whoever won the first event would be seeded first in the next event. And if I miss the first event, then I'm seeded, dead last in the event? Well, you can't have that. If Paola misses the first LPRT event, you can't seed her 30th in the next event, right? So you can't use season-to-date points to do either seeding or ranking. At best, it's kind of a useful tool, right? So you have to have this rolling system. Now, the IRT uses a slightly different rolling system, which we can get into later, but the LPRT uses a very standard conventional 365-point rolling or 365-day rolling system. So in theory, they can rerun their results every day, and then if an event ages off, then the points get lost. Mm-hmm. That's as simple as it can get. Now,
season end.
Todd? Do you do the ranking system for both tours?
No.
Okay.
So the ranking system for I believe both is integrated and run as a functionality of R2 Sports. Okay. So because all the matches go into R2 Sports, and then I think Ryan Rogers has developed an algorithm that spits it out. I believe for both, but certainly at least for the IRT, I know it does.
Okay.
What I do is I have a little spreadsheet that kind of emulates it, where I just I have just all the events, and then each one I say points this event plus rolling total minus 365 days ago, and it gives me a rough estimate, and I do that for both. Mm-hmm. And then I use that when I'm running my write-ups to kind of predict what's going to happen at the end of each event before the points are announced.
All right. Well, with that said, Todd, let's get right into. Oh, is my wife in the chat? She did send me a picture. Mateo fell asleep. Well, Veronica, you were amazing, outstanding. We love you. You got a lot of love, guys. I tried to get her on the show. She won't do it. Don't know what to tell you.
One day, maybe for her birthday.
Yeah, we'll see. So,
all right.
Go ahead, Todd.
Right.
Give everybody, tell everybody exactly what's going on with the LPRT. Lay the groundwork. What's up?
All right. So the LPRT has had 1, 2, 3. They've had 7 events so far. The season, the season ends on June 30th. Mm-hmm. So the LPRT is still on a July 1st to June 30th season, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. So it goes around the end of the year, and that's because that's kind of how the racquetball season has always gone. So they've played 7 events. There are 2 more on the schedule. There might be there might be a third between now and June 30th. Right now, on the rolling points, Monse is behind, but in the season-to-date points, she is ahead of Paola. She has earned 1,101 points so far in season-to-date to Paola's 940. So she's got a 161-point lead in just season-to-date. And that's important because the season to date will be the points as of June 30th when the season ends.
Thank you, Simone.
Okay. Now here's the interesting part. One of the tournaments that is getting ready to expire is last year's Grand Slam in Greenville.
What points are we looking at there, Todd, on that graphic at the LPRT? Are those season to date or year to date?
That is your season. That's your 365-day rolling calendar.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the kicker. In mid-May, last year's Sweet Caroline Grand Slam is going to expire off. Well, Monty didn't play it last year. Paola won it last year and earned 300 ranking points. So as of May 15th, when that expires, there's going to be an instant 300-point gap closing, and Paola is in big trouble.
All right. Can I disclose one of our conversations that you said?
Yeah.
And this is why I wanted to talk about this. Leo, listen to this. Is this a fair statement? Based on the statistics, mathematics, if Monty is to show up at the remaining LPRT events, literally show up, and not, she almost will definitely finish number one.
I mean, it's almost guaranteed. I mean, if she loses in the 16s and she gets like 25 points and Paola wins and gets 200 points, even that, I don't think there's going to be enough of a chance for Paola to make up the points. Between her current lead of 161 points and the 300 points she's about to make up, she almost has an insurmountable lead. And what's even more amazing about this is that Monty missed the U.S. Open. She missed 2 tournaments already. She missed the U.S. Open, which was a Grand Slam points. And she's still, by virtue of her dominant performances so far this year, she's still in position to dethrone Paola for number one.
So I have a couple quick thoughts.
I do too. Congratulations to Paola on her engagement, by the way.
Absolutely.
For those of you that don't know, Paola did get engaged this weekend. So who knows, that could come into play, but that's different. Jeff's a great guy. I've met him. Spent some time with him. They wish him nothing but the best. And I will definitely be posting some video and photos from that wedding if we're allowed to bring cameras and stuff. But yeah, it just blew my mind. And Todd, we'll get to after Leo's comments. I want to know also, when was the last time she didn't finish number one? Hold your thought, Leo. Go ahead.
No, just being around the sport enough. Todd isn't the only person that thinks and looks at these things. I'm not going to say directly the athlete, but the athletes look at this and they know this. I've experienced it myself firsthand, where you follow the points that close, and I'll leave you with that thought. And the other thought is another tournament could pop up on the calendar because of those thoughts.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah,
I know where you're going with that. Well, I'll tell you this, guys. As a player, and I've been in a race for number one, I knew exactly where I was.
Call yourself out then, because I'm not calling nobody else out. But yes,
I'm just calling myself out. I knew exactly where I was.
Yep.
Well, the last time Paola wasn't number one was in 2011. And interestingly, she lost that year-end title to Rhonda. And do you know why she lost that year-end title?
Stockton. The blow-up. She got suspended for that first tournament the next year in Dallas. And she had to miss that tournament, and that tournament caused her.
Well, that might have been coincidence, but my notes say she missed one Tier 1 event that season, not because of a suspension, but because she was home being presented Athlete of the Year in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Misses a tournament to be Athlete of the Year in Mexico, and it cost her the title.
Ooh. All right, I got to be honest. I'm at the tournament.
Just saying. So Paola had won in 2009 and 2010. She had dethroned Rhonda, who won the 3 years prior. And then that enabled Rhonda to outpoint her. And then ever since then, it's been essentially one-way traffic. I mean,
Right.
there's other amazing stats that with Paola so far this
Bring
year. I
them.
mean,
Bring the stats, Todd. You're the guy. Tell everybody the greatness.
Here's the
mean-
one about Rhonda falling out of the top 20 for the first time this century, Steve says.
I mean, that's amazing. When Paola got beat in the quarters, just in the quarters by Brenda earlier this season, that was the first time that she was beaten prior to the semis since 2008.
Ooh.
She basically her career is essentially her in the finals almost every tournament for a decade.
So is there any argument who the GOAT is in women's racquetball? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, you can't argue
Lynn
with those
Adams.
accomplishments.
Lynn Adams is I mean, now
Yeah,
look at her
no.
winning percentage. I know it's high.
Well, Lynn Adams does not have the best career best win-loss percentage in the women's tour.
Oh, I'm sure not anymore.
In fact, Lynn Adams is third. Who's first?
Win percentage?
Career one-loss percentage on tour.
Michelle.
Michelle Gould. She
Ding, 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 ding.
She lost 9 times in her pro career that I am aware of. 9 times.
I think she rolls right in the court now and wins a few matches. What do you think, Leo? Couple
I mean,
of bombs.
Did you guys ever see her play?
Of course.
Oh, of course.
I mean, for people that didn't see her play, describe her drive serve.
That was her thing. I don't know where she learned it, or you can't emulate. I mean, that was her thing. Go all the way down on the knee, bend the knee down, and then come up out of there and just smack that thing. I watched her beat. I mean, I watched the match against her and Robin Levine one time. That was just the most amazing match that I think I ever watched.
I mean, Gould's serve was so dominant that they changed the scoring rules to try to even up the tour. They went to rally scoring. They went to ping pong scoring for a year before they finally just abandoned it and went back to more conventionals. And then, but the problem was that Michelle, her career spanned these seasons where they had like at a grand total of like 3 pro events for an entire season because the women's tour just was totally dried up at that point. They were like, this is all throughout the mid 90s. It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the thing that is a little bit different today is, these girls are crazy athletic, and you just said a name like Robin Levine, right? Robin was one of kind of right before Rhonda hit the scene, I think. I'm sure they've played a couple times. Robin was very athletic, lefty. You remember, Leo, got around the court, hit it hard. I just think today's crop of LPRT players, including Victoria, who's in there in that chat right now, I mean, she's diving out there on the concrete in Hollywood Beach. And I think it'd be a little different, and this is what I say, guys, because I get posed the question all the time. I love it and I hate it. But
Robin wore a do-rag.
Sometimes
that's right.
She did. Sometimes it's just different, and that's okay. Enjoy the greatness. It was incredible. Yeah. Michelle will forever go down as one of the greatest to ever play our sport. She certainly has one of, if not the greatest drive, serve, and power game to ever play women's professional racquetball. But hey, things change a little bit, and we'll see what happens. We'll see. But Paola, maybe it's the next step in life. Veronica and I are personal friends, and I'm not saying anything that we've ever discussed with Paola, but it wouldn't shock me if after the Pan American Games this year, especially now she's getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll never forget 2007 U.S. Open in Memphis, Tennessee was the very first time that I interviewed Paola Longoria as part of the media staff. I'll never forget it. And she had just lost to Rhonda. And we did a nice interview. And in the interview, she said that, she will be number one. And she knows that number one will have to go through Rhonda. And then after the interview was over, she said a couple of things to me and pretty much lived up to them. So pretty special moment for me too.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We have another legend and GOAT in here, Tim Hansen. What's up, Tim? We missed you this weekend. Actually, that Todd, if you ever find it, that was the last and first time I ever played in that one wall tournament. I played with Tim, and Tim will tell you I was god awful. I couldn't keep the ball on the court. I think Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the first game I ever played out there, and Tim was a legend out there and a GOAT. Leo, I couldn't keep a ball on the court. It was embarrassing. That was my first time. I did a little better this time.
Hall of Famer in here tonight.
The next time you see Tim, ask him to tell you about the one time that the USAR tried to run an outdoor tournament in Gainesville. I interviewed Tim for like my little war outdoor history project, and it's a great story. We don't have to. I don't mean to sidetrack you, but next time, because you're down there in Florida, I'm sure you see him all the time.
Well, he'll comment, I'm sure.
Look at this comment here that Simone just put up. Longoria is the GOAT, but Monty and Erica are the next wave. Erica will be playing in Louisiana in 2 weeks at the Warhawk Open.
Oh, that's
against
cool.
The men. She can ball.
That's cool. Well, if you really want some controversy, you should have people put predictions on how Erica will do in that tournament.
Well, there you go. Todd just did it. Leo, what was that? What did Todd say, Leo?
Did he just say dovetail?
Oh,
man.
Oh,
Simone, every time.
It's like asking for stars. Give me some stars. I want some stars.
Todd, this is what Simone does when Leo does that. She goes like this.
Simone,
hey,
spring break.
Turn off the video. Turn off your video. So anyway, okay. So Todd, so Erica is playing in the Warhawk. Well, I need to know which men are playing, and then I'll tell you how she'll do. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So wait, Monty and Erica are playing?
No, just Erica.
Oh, well, how'd she do in Montana?
Yeah, she played in Montana, I think.
Yeah, we never saw the results.
I think she won the doubles.
She might have lost early in Montana. I can't remember.
But I think she won the open doubles.
It's tough, man.
If Matthew or Ty's in here, they'll be able to tell us.
Yeah. Anybody that was there, it's tough to, it's tough. The greatest women in the world. I train with them all the time. I mean, Veronica, you're in here. If you want to comment, you take really good. That's a great dog. I love your
beautiful
dog, by the way. It's hard. We hit it hard. We move it around. It's a difficult situation. Period.
So we got two events left to finish up with the LPRT on this topic. The Battle at the Alamo, that's going to be right here in my backyard in San Antonio. I'll be at that event. And then the Sweet Caroline Open in May. So
yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of time. We're going to need some really weird results for there to be any change in the top three. I think Alexandra, by virtue of her missing the last event, is essentially locked into third. I think Monty's going to win it. We're going to have a new champion for the first time in a decade.
Wow.
Is that your call?
That's my call.
But what about an early shakeup? You got women in there like Brenda Lime who could just, bounce somebody, like that. I mean,
it's
she's
true.
another awesome talent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, but now she's locked into the 2 seed. So she's not, she doesn't get stuck, say like, like let's say that Gabby shows up. Or Vargas. The 2 wild cards are always Gabby and Vargas right now. But those 2 are feeding in. They're not.
What about Mari Cruz?
Mari Cruz, yeah. She also can really put some hurting on people.
She's coming.
But I believe Vargas is now back up to 12.
5 plays 12. 5 plays into 4. 4 plays into 1. You know how I know this? Because I'm a crazy racquetball player that used to watch who I had anywhere. Yeah, Veronica always asks me. She's like, "Babe, I'm the 18th seed. Who do I play?" And I just tell her draw just by looking at the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, so all right, so now Vargas is 12. So she's not going to be playing into Mia unless at the number 2 unless somebody misses, right? So who's in danger of playing Monty now in the 16s? You're talking about Amaya,
15,
Maria
number
Renee.
15, number 15 plays number 2 in the 16s.
I mean, Gabby's ranked 19th. So unless somebody above her misses, then Gabby's going to miss her.
I don't know. I think Gabby's focused. Gabby, we've worked with Gabby, love her. She's a dear friend of ours. I think she's focused on international play right now. Todd, you speak to that all the time. She goes and plays a LPRT and she could lose, but then she goes and plays a world championships and she's in the semis or finals. It's pretty impressive. But I tell you, Monty, Todd, how many tournaments has she won in a row? LPRT events?
She's won 4 in a row.
And when was the last time anybody other than Paola Longoria has done that?
I mean, I think you're going back to I think you're going back to Gould, or Ronda might have done it actually. Let me give me 2 seconds and I'll pull it up.
What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think then, and Suds has kind of admitted to it. Well, he has admitted to it. And like I said, I'm not going to call out my friends on here, but do you think the pros follow this as much as we are? Do you think that I'll just say their name. Do you think Paula? Do you think Monsi? Do you think Erica knows exactly how many points they're getting each round and how far they need to go and how the year is going to wrap up? Do you think that they follow it that close, or do they just play and trust that the LPRT is going to, do the right calculation? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I don't know the players well enough to answer that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you as a player, and just like Victoria says, absolutely, you better damn well know exactly
Victoria.
And that matters. And I'll tell you, I mean, I know it's different now. When we were playing, Todd, we were getting tens of thousands of dollars in year-end ranking bonuses. And you damn Skippy, I knew that if I win this tournament, Todd could tell you the history, and Cliff finishes 2 rounds behind me or more, I'm getting a $25,000 check. I knew exactly where I was at all times. And for those that say they don't, thank you. I think can you show that, Simone? Mike Martinez, our good friend from Kennex, he just said basically what I said right there.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Mike, if you have a player that says they don't know, you know what to do, right?
All right. To answer your prior question, last person to win more than 4 in a row, Rhonda did it in 2008. She won 6 in a row. Before that, Cheryl won 8 in a row in 2003. For those of you who don't know how dominant Michelle Gould was, she won 21 tournaments in a row between 94 and 97.
Snap.
And then you've got players, Jackie Parezzo. She won 11 tournaments in a row between 98 and 2000.
Nice.
People forget how good she was.
I did.
Christy Van Hees is in there. She won 4 in a row at 05-06 when she was actually playing. But that's what we're talking about. This is all pre Longoria, really. Oh, Cheryl again. She won another 7 in a row in 02. People forget Cheryl. Cheryl won like 15 out of 16 tournaments at one point in a row. Wow,
those are Kane-esque numbers.
Yeah, Cheryl was awesome. She was tough. She was just did what she had to, got it done. I love Veronica's perspective because she was younger coming in. Like Todd, you said that crazy stat about Veronica playing only 3 events that year, getting to the semis of every event. But then the other one, which was interesting, was the one where you said she played the first full year and she finished number 6. She was like 16 or 17 years old. So that's pretty impressive. But her perspective, Leo, you guys would love it. Leo, you're around us more sometimes personally, but hearing her talk about, Rhonda and Cheryl, it's so awesome. It's so cool. And if I was any of these younger players, like Marty Cruz is really benefiting from it now. You'll learn a lot. So go ahead, Todd. It looked like you had a thought.
So in that 15-16, loses in the semis to Longoria in San Antonio. Along the way, she beats Mia, Salas, and Lambert. Then she goes.
I remember that. You guys want to know about that?
Frederic.
She was sore. That was the first time I ever saw. Babe, are you watching? Remember that in San Antonio? How sore you were? Yeah, that's right. She had to play Monse, Mejia, then Frederic, and then Samantha.
Monse, Samantha, Frederic.
And then she lost to Paola.
At the U.S. Open that year, she beats Sharon Jackson. Then she beats Amaya in the 16. She beats Lambert again in a 5-gamer in the quarters before she takes a game off of Paola, but then loses in 4. Then it beats Amy Brewer, beats Michelle Key, beats Rhonda, loses to Maria Jose Vargas in the semis. That's her season.
That's good run, babe. That's impressive. Yeah, I would say so. That's going to segue us into that IRT discussion, Todd, that we're talking about that player, about Jake, and we'll get to that later. So, all right, before we move on to the IRT.
Before we move on, Angelica Barrios is trending in our chat box right now.
Yeah, there you go. She's tough. You know, so I was talking to somebody who's like, how does she keep getting wins? Or does just, you know, like she plays such a unique style of
Yeah.
all the ladies pros that, you know, and she's got wins like all over the place.
Yeah, I love watching her play.
Yeah, it's interesting. She's definitely skilled with the racket, and she puts a lot of balls down. I think she messes up timing for a lot of players. She's quicker than what you might think. Very smart. Has to work on the drive serve. Angie, if you're watching, you got to, if you make that drive serve a little more consistent, that's just going to be another weapon. But it's up to you. All right, so guys, the three of us, here we are. It's kind of around the horn. I'm gonna let
We're
Todd
gonna go to commercial, and are we done?
No,
with
we're going to do a
LPRT?
quick prediction. We're going to do a quick prediction, then we're going to take a quick commercial. Simone? Simone. Yeah, I heard that, Leo. Simone wants to do a commercial after the predictions.
Okay.
So, Todd, you're up first. Does Paola Longoria finish number 1 in the world this year, at the end of this season?
No.
Leo?
Look me in the eyes, Todd, and tell me that your numbers are right.
I'll give you a one better. She finishes number 2 and she retires.
From professional racquetball or from?
She just got engaged. She's 34.
No, she's playing the Pan Am Games. She's playing the Pan Ams.
Yeah.
She's going to play the Pan Ams.
Is she done?
No.
After? Wait,
No.
you just said she's retiring after number 2.
Yeah.
After
I mean, she's getting married. She's in her mid-30s. Does
Let
she
Todd
want a
talk.
family? I don't know. You know, but the clock is ticking.
Victoria Rodriguez, Simone.
Let Todd talk.
Go ahead,
saying.
Todd. Keep going. This is good. So,
Just saying.
So you think Paola finishes number 2 and stops in June? Done. I'm out.
She's lost more times this season than she's lost in the last 7 seasons combined. Do you think that she wants to continue this?
What do the fans think? What do the fans think, Leo? What do the fans think, Leo?
Yeah.
If she had her druthers, would she want to be like Kane and just like go out on top? You know, win your last match, be like Pete Sampras at the U.S. Open. Unfortunately, I don't know when the next U.S. Open is going to be, so you know she can't go out on top on that. So maybe it is international.
Well, Simone, I'm with you. We're going to take a quick commercial. We're going to leave everybody with that thought from our pro racquetball stats, Todd Boss, who I can tell you all. Ooh, look at Alex. Look at this. Leo, this chat should be blowing up after those predictions. We're going to get to that. And we'll see what happens.
You said Alex for a minute. I thought you meant Alex Londa. I was about to say,
Whoa,
oh boy.
that's a whole
No,
other
Alex is
discussion.
too busy playing paddle down in Juarez.
Nobody move. We're going to take a quick commercial. Simone's demanding it. We'll be back with the IRT.
Ooh, I got something to say about
We'll
what Todd
talk
just
a little
said.
Alex Landa. We'll talk a little Kane and Alvaro update. We're going to talk about Jake, the IRT. We're going to talk about racquetball because we love racquetball. We love indoor racquetball. We love outdoor racquetball. Give me a racket. Give me a ball. Leo and I will play in the closet if we have to, all right? Nobody move. Take a quick look at this. Todd, that was the quickest transition from a full-on banana peel and bite to boom, I'm on live. I love it. Yeah, show everybody. Come on, this is beyond the court. Todd, you're a racquetball player. You know, some people, I don't know if everybody knows that you're also a player. You're not just smart.
In my youth, I haven't played in forever.
Well, you're still a baller. You know, let's what do you guys think, Leo? Steer the ship here, Leo. Where are we going next? We got IRT.
Well, before we move on to the IRT,
I gotta close my door. Hold on.
yeah, please do. Before we move on to the IRT, I just want to say that Todd Boss had a little bit too much banana. Okay. I don't know if he heard that, but I certainly trust his stats. You know, Todd is probably he is the only reliable source that we have right now in the sport for the history of the game. Everything he's done, everything he continues to do. Before, Todd started this thing, not a lot of people know about it. And now it's like the go-to place, when you want to look up something, whether it's history or future or past, and so many reports to run. I remember when Todd would send me like a Twitter message and say, hey, go check out this report I just made on this, So it's an amazing place for the history of the game. It doesn't, have, videos and photos. I mean, there's information that you can go to on his site and you can go find that information, even the player's personal history and bios and all that stuff. But with all that said, you are absolutely wrong, Todd Boss. Okay. Even if Paola Longoria finishes number 2 in the world, she is not going to leave on a note like that. She is still the best player in the world. She's got a lot of stuff going on. I won't sit here and name everything because I'll probably forget everything. But from Barbie dolls to tequila to sponsorships to novellas to politics to dinners with the president of Mexico, everything that you can think of, this woman is doing it, and she has done it from her book, and she will probably finish number 2. Like you said, I do trust what you have to say about that, but she's not going to retire. Jeff fully supports her in her racquetball career, and I think leaving at number 2 will not sit well with her. She'll have something to prove. She'll come back. She'll play one more season. She probably won't tell anybody, but she will come back. She'll play one more season. She'll finish number 1, and then she'll have a nice big piece of that wedding cake.
Leo, that was well said, man. I
You like that?
I got no follow up to that except I will make sure to show you guys some pictures and videos of that wedding cake whenever it does happen. So, all right, Todd. Another thing we discussed. We talked about the IRT. We were talking about how great Daniel's playing. How disappointing it is that Conrado doesn't get to every event. Always disappointing that Kane's not at the events. He's still coming back from injury. Leo, you and I will discuss that later when we let Todd go. So Todd, let's get right to the IRT race. Simone, can you put up that graphic or caption that you had created so everybody knows what we're discussing?
So here's the nugget. Or I will wait for the graphic here.
Is there one? She's telling me
it's there. She put it up. Yep, it's in.
Well, so
I don't see it.
I guess we have two. I have 2 nuggets that I wanted to talk about. First, I mean, do you want to talk about Jake first? Or do you want to talk about the race first?
Todd, you're our guest you're our guest in Beyond the Court. If you walk into our house, we say, what would you like?
All right, let's talk about the race.
Good build up, yeah.
Let's talk about the race because what we've seen so far in the first few events is a kind of a flip-flopping. We've seen Conrado ascend to number 1, the first time anyone from outside of the three main countries of the sport has ascended to number 1. And then immediately Daniel retakes it back over, and I think right now Daniel is ahead a little bit. But what's interesting is, Leo, you asked about how these ranking systems work.
Yep.
A little earlier. Well,
I have no idea.
The LPRT works on a 365-day calendar. However, the IRT is working on a slightly different calendar right now. They used the opportunity, the big gap in COVID between March and the end of the year and the COVID year, to essentially pivot to a calendar year schedule, right? However, they also, because of the lack of events for most of 2020 and most of 2021, they are not working on a 365-day calendar. They are working on a rolling set of 11 tournaments, basically your points from your last 11 tournaments. Now, this is important because what it means is that a guy like Daniel, those points are essentially his points from his last 11 events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel missed 3 events last year, which, even despite the fact that he missed 3 events, he still was able to finish number 1 at the end of 2023, essentially on the strength of his 2021 U.S. Open title, right? Because that event was still in the 11 rolling events that counted towards the IRT.
Right.
Now, this is all important because at some point the IRT is going to go back to a 365-day rolling calendar. I don't have any inside information, but they kind of have to, because what's happening is you can't have a year-end title race be determined by points that didn't happen in that calendar year. It doesn't make any sense, right? It'd be like awarding the Houston Astros the World Series title because they got a bunch of wins in September of the prior year. You know what I mean?
But give that specific example you gave us about the U.S. Open, how he loses it again. It's going to be on his points, or he loses it. How does that go again, Todd? I'm sorry, you explained that to me the other day.
It is complicated. I did like it when Moscoso lost to Daniel, but then ascended to number one. I had this whole big explanation that I posted to try to explain how the machinations work and blah blah blah. And it is overly confusing. What they need to just go back to a rolling 365.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. Daniel missed 3 events last fall, right? Right now, he's neck and neck with Conrado. And if Conrado wins the next event, he'll probably jump ahead, blah, blah, blah. But when we get into this fall, Daniel is going to do nothing but gain points on Conrado. Essentially, if you want to see Conrado, if you're a Conrado fan and you want to see him finish number one, Conrado needs to go on a tear and essentially win every event between now and next fall to have any shot of beating Daniel for the number one.
So they do year end, right?
They will do year end. They'll go to
calendar year.
They'll go to calendar year December 31st.
Yeah, that's easy to figure out.
That one's easier to figure out. So that's the nugget.
I suggested the LPRT do that too. I think everybody should. Just easier.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no one complains that the hockey season runs across,
it's not the same. They're not playing for ranking points. They're playing wins and losses. That's easy to follow.
But that's the season. You know, the season in racquetball is the cold weather months, and that starts in September and it goes all the way.
Used to be. I don't think that because
this is an outdoor side. We already talked about outdoor.
I love outdoor. Babe, do you love outdoor? You're gonna play more outdoor events? Are you watching? I'm in more outdoor. I'm all for it. I love it. So all right, let's play this out then, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
How many year-end number one rankings does Daniel have right now?
So he has 2
at
current.
Okay.
I think he's a shoo-in to win a third, unless he gets an offer he can't refuse from
that's
pickleball.
So here's the thing. This is where we start talking about pickleball. Okay.
Yeah.
So Daniel.
Wait. I want more racquetball for a minute. Hold on. We'll get to that. Leo, in your JT voice, racquetball only, please.
It all factors in. It's all related.
All right, but wait. So Daniel has 2 year-end number ones. Because by the way, for the record, Todd, when you move to number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 in the middle of a season, me personally holds no weight. Don't care. It's an algorithm.
It's got to be year-end.
I want to know what you are year-end. No offense to any of you that have ever moved to a higher spot during. Tell me what you did at the end of the season. So go ahead.
There's a bunch of guys in the history of our tour that have been number 1 at some point, but never finished number 1. Andy Roberts,
he jumps out.
Net, Egan was number 1. Doyle was number 1 at some point.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, but they didn't finish number 1. They don't have the title. It's all about the titles.
All right. So go ahead. Now this is interesting. All you players and fans, this is where racquetball and pickleball are going to be really butting heads, especially if you're a Daniel fan. So Leo, maybe you or Todd. I was with Daniel.
So we're done with the racquetball part of Daniel.
No, because we're going to tie it in. But I think one of you should explain what just happened with Daniel and the contract or his draft and all that. And then Todd, let's tie it in so everybody can understand, because it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. So do you want me to go? Okay, so
yeah, Todd knows more about the draft than I do. So Daytona, he just got drafted.
So all right, so you guys were alluding to this before. There's Major League Pickleball, which is essentially a team-based competition in pickleball, and they have teams, a little 2 men and 2 women teams. And Daniel got drafted to essentially replace a player on one of the challenger teams. Well, the thing about this is that MLP is a cash cow for these players. It's guaranteed money. There's significant cash prizes for those teams that win. And if Daniel competes well, then at the midway point of the season, there will be a complete redraft where all 24 teams redraft, and he'll have a very high likelihood of getting drafted again, which then will guarantee him 3 more positions. And so you start to look at the dates here. And so the pickleball, these MLP events are there. There's one coming up at the end of this month in Daytona. Doesn't interrupt any IRT. There's one in June 18th, which by that point we don't have any IRT events. But the MLP events in the fall may be a complication for him. Furthermore, Daniel did not sign a contract with the PPA. So the PPA at the end of last year went through signed a bunch of the top players to exclusivity contracts in the pickleball world, and these things are really lucrative. They double the prize money. They provide, again, appearance fees for these PPA events. Daniel would love to get one of these contracts because it will guarantee him literally tens of thousands of dollars. And that's not something that he can get a guarantee for in our sport, unfortunately. That's the big what if with Daniel, is what if he blows up MLP, gets himself on another team, and suddenly the PPA is like, I want to lock this guy up. And suddenly, and this is important because the PPA literally plays every other weekend, and that will completely interrupt any plans he has to represent the United States, to go to play IRT events. I have a pickleball calendar similar to the one that I maintain for racquetball, and the PPA has like 20 some events this year. It's basically every other week.
Want me to tell you guys what he told me so we can put this to rest?
Yeah.
I was saving it for the moment. Does Simone have a drum roll?
So tell me, Mr. Insider Information.
There's a man.
What Daniel told me was that pickleball events are all mapped out for this entire year, and they will not affect his racquetball participation.
All right.
One bit. So we got him, and he'll be doing both. And he's excited about that. He's excited about the opportunity. Yeah. And I think it's great for racquetball because, Todd, we say this all the time. In the pickleball world, and Todd and Leo, you know this better than I, Mike Martinez obviously, picked him up, sponsored him in pickleball as well. But they know him as a racquetball player first, which I think is pretty awesome.
Well, I'll give you this wrinkle, Sudsy. If he gets drafted for the MLP for the second season, the first event of that is in the end of September. Nothing on the racquetball calendar. The second event is when the Pan Am Games is. It's the same weekend.
Look at the dates again. Look at the dates of the pickleball event versus the Pan Am event dates.
You're talking about the one in La Quinta?
I've got them both. Yeah, I've got them both on November 5th weekend.
Yeah, he's right.
And then the third one is 12/10 weekend, which would be the last IRT event of the season in Pleasanton.
I asked him specifically about, and we'll bring him on, Daniel, if you're watching, or shoot me a message and I'll just send you the invite. You can jump in, or Simone can.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough year for Daniel because
he told me it's not going to interfere though, Leo. He said I asked specifically about the Pan Ams.
Yeah.
And I said no.
And I believe that.
Yeah,
but
PPA is probably not going to mess with him. But,
but it's going to be tough for him because now instead of just doing racquetball and whatever else in between, now he's going to be competing, in 2 professional tours. All right,
cool.
And he's going to have to handle and juggle traveling, logistics, training. God forbid he gets hurt. All right.
Come on, nobody gets hurt playing pickleball.
I did. I pulled a quad lunging for.
I'm not talking about old man injuries. I'm talking about like guy in his 20s injuries.
Well, good thing he gets health insurance from the U.S. racquetball team.
Oh man, I strained
that. That doesn't start till July. Hey, by the way, while you're saying that, Leo, that's super impressive. I want you to continue, but I'll say this again.
Yeah, our
top athletes in racquetball are damn good athletes in anything and everything in any sport. And I call out any sport, all pro sports. I've been doing it for decades. You would think with social media now, Like let's have a little competition.
Well,
We could either add our sport or not to this competition. But our guys are good, man, and our ladies. There's some damn good athletes in racquetball.
I agree with you, but injuries do happen, and they do happen in pro pickleball because, like I said, I do follow it as a fan. Another note: there is up to $5 million in this prize purse that we're talking about in the MLP, and it's spread out throughout the season. So, like Todd said, and I don't know if Todd, if we can divulge this, it's public, but Todd is a writer for pickleball, and so Todd is very in tune with the sport. So big calendar, like you said, Todd. There's a lot of PPA events, and look, that doesn't include pickleball camps, pickleball events that somebody wants to bring you to. I mean, 2023 is going to be pretty busy for DLR.
Yeah, I mean, look, these guys are all independent contractors. Just like these racquetball pros are doing clinics, they're flying off to do private instruction. That's really how they make their money, Sudsy. Is that how you used to make your money?
Yeah. Well, no, I was fortunate enough and blessed, and thank God Head was there all those years, over a decade of my primary income then was via Head, and I was paid contracts and bonuses and, a salary, and it was great. But definitely today it's appearances, partnering, doing events and stuff like that. And Erica, just real quick, because I see Simone has your comment. So Simone wants us to answer that. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, other than technical, I am 100% sure the physical training that we do out as a pro racquetball player, they'll be just fine for pickleball. Yeah. There's no doubt.
Yep.
So yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
And just to finish up with DLR too, for those of you that came in late, in this draft, all right, DLR had a duper doubles ranking of 6.28. So he was the second highest ranked player available in the draft. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the post initial draft analysis really was shocked that DLR was not picked. Like, because he played in this last year.
Yeah.
This is a good opportunity for him, and and I think that he's going to get a good chance to to continue on, and that's only going to be a good thing.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So all the best to him. He was great watching him this weekend dominate, and we'll watch that. And it looks like there's a race to the end, but we're going to do it again. Todd, prediction: who finishes the IRT this year as the #1 ranked player in the world?
De La Rosa. I think he works around. I think he will by mid-November. Because remember, there's no U.S. Open this fall, right? So there's no more majors that are going to be allowed, enable players to really make up ground.
You never know if a major pops up.
A major could pop up. You're right. The guys in Atlanta could come up. Some guys in Kansas City might show up and decide, to do some stuff. You never know. But I think it's DLR 1, Moscoso 2, Jake 3.
All right, I agree with you. But Leo, before Leo, what's your pick? Do you agree with that? So I agree. I think it goes Daniel and then Conrado.
We're only in March. Okay. So if you want me to fast track forward to the end of the year, like I said it earlier, Daniel De La Rosa right now, to me at this moment in time, is the #1 player for me, indoor and outdoor. But if you want me to fast forward to the end of the year, I'm going to call Conrado Moscoso #1 at the end of the year. I think he gets it done. He's not off playing pickleball. He's not off, doing a bunch of stuff. Conrado Moscoso only plays racquetball, and that'll be his focus outside of him going back home and, getting all kinds of praises and awards and parades in his honor. But Conrado Moscoso will finish #1.
You're not wrong about he only plays racquetball, but he's a hell of a dancer if you ever saw him in any of those parades in Bolivia and his social media. But the issue with Conrado is he doesn't play in all the events. He misses some events too, which is crazy. So let's real quick, Todd, if Daniel was to finish #1 for a third time, where would that put him in history with #1 year-end rankings?
I mean, he's still behind, the Triumph, the group of. So there, for a while, there was just the group of 5 that had the 5 titles. Or Cliff had 6, you had 5, Marty had 5, Yellen had 5, Brumfeld had 5. Then we get Kane, who now has 14. But below that, Rocky has 2, Daniel has 2, and then there's a slew of guys that just won 1 title.
Wow. So that would put him right behind the group, the next
Yeah.
group. That's interesting. Well, good luck to him and you know, obviously everyone the rest of the way. Todd, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say nobody else is sitting on 3. That's kind of cool. So
Yeah, that he'd be the only guy with 3.
take that spot.
Hey, Mike Martinez, if you're listening, that deserves a big fat bonus check. All right.
50 G's, like they pay in the UFC, baby. You get 50 G's.
All right, we mentioned Jake and Todd again. You know,
Yes.
you
Let's
gave
get
me
to that.
You gave me some interesting stuff. So first, talk about the rankings, how we got here, and then I want everybody to hear, you know, what we're talking about.
Well, so you know, so for many years, Jake was kind of, you know, he was a talented guy. He won a bunch of stuff on the WRT. He comes to the IRT, and he for a number of years he just was kind of hanging out on the outskirts of the top 10, right? But now suddenly you look up and he's creeping up, right? You know, he's seated 7th, and then he's seated 6th, and then somebody misses an event and he's seated 4th. Well, now the last event he was seated 3rd, and you know, it's no mistake. So I just happened to this is the thing that Sudsy and I were talking about. I just happened to do a little look at his performance over the last 18 months. And this is what the interesting point is. Since basically September of 2022, because there was a gap. Remember the New York event that got, you know, moistured out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a summer gap. So from September to now, these are the sole losses that Jake has taken on tour. He lost to Javier Mar in DC, lost to Montoya at the U.S. Open in 2022, lost to Moscoso in the final in Pleasanton, lost to DLR in Dovetail in Florida, lost to Moscoso at the Longhorn, lost to De La Rosa at the Lewis Drug, lost to De La Rosa again at the Grand Slam in Atlanta, lost to De La Rosa last week or 2 weeks ago at Minnesota.
And beat Lalo at Pelham.
In the meantime, here's a list of the guys he has beaten along the way. Natera, Parilla, Franco, Parilla again, Portillo, Parilla again, Murray, Mercado again, Acuna, Mercado another time. He's basically, he now is ranked where he should be ranked. He is now, in my estimation, the third best player on tour. You got to put him ahead of Parilla. You got to put him ahead of Portillo. Because he's beating these guys head to head. He's ahead of Murray, and he's just has come out of the blue. He's just playing so consistent, so solid. And by the way, all these losses to De La Rosa, they're almost all with a tiebreaker. He's
right there.
Yeah,
he's really close to breaking through,
putting his foot in the door.
Yeah, wins the first game. You know, yeah. He you know, I did the same thing. I checked your site. Thank you very much. And I watched, of course, I like to watch. And if you watch any pro racquetball, you saw a lot of Jake Bredenbeck, you know, semifinals, finals, semifinals, finals. So,
yeah. I mean, he's gonna be a big presence for us at the next international event. You know, he's gonna be representing us, probably playing singles and doubles.
Mm-hmm. You think this is his coming? You know, his coming out. Is it time now? You know, everybody kind of wondered how far he could go, and you know, is this it?
Well, so he's now 31. You know, so you see this a lot in racquetball, where you see players, you know, if they're not like explosively awesome by the time they're 20, it takes them a while to kind of grow in. And you know, athletes generally peak, you know, between 28 and 32, right? Thereabouts. And so he's in that peak period. And it supports his performance. You know, he used to be just known as a big banger. Right? Just a guy that just hit the crap out of the ball and didn't have the finesse, didn't have the complete game. And he was always just losing in the quarters,
trying to move
right? Or getting upset even before that. Now he's a regular in the semis. He's refined his game. He's able to beat these players. He's beating players that play different kinds of styles. You know, Parilla and Portillo play a completely different style than someone like Murray or Sebastian Franco, right? And he's able to beat them both consistently. That's huge.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, Todd, through the years, how rankings have changed and people move into places. But yeah, there's no doubt, I think, that right now the only other, you got to think about Montoya. Jake right now is playing so consistent. He's playing great. And yes, I do think, Simone, show that again. I think that, Jake working with Cliff really is going to help him.
Wow.
Cliff is going to teach him some things that, you just can't learn without being there, without being in that, those experiences, winning and losing. And, I think Alvaro and Rocky obviously are a couple of guys that are now out of the top. I mean, I'm looking at this graphic that Simone's showing that I can't believe she didn't expand it. Simone, what's up with that? Cover the whole page. But, Alvaro and Rocky now are not there, right? So players are going to keep moving up. Montoya won the last event. And let's talk about this. There's a guy named Kane that's not playing right now. And, this is an opportunity for many players, and Jake's taking advantage of that opportunity, and his play has really been impressive. So stay the course, Jake, and, who knows? Who knows what you can do? You're not done yet, buddy.
That's a big thing. I know it's like you just said, it doesn't really matter in the season, but to me, that's a big thing. Yeah. Jake is not known to be in the top 3.
Right.
And he's like Todd said, he's where he should be. And when I went to Todd's site, ProRacquetballStats.com, you can search his playing history. You can search his best finishes. You can, look and you can see the scores. I mean, you can see it all, and it's right there in front of you. And when I look at it, I only see him losing to DLR in Conrado.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Kane. Kane's always the elephant in the room. He injured himself on September 18th, and he suffered an injury that's essentially considered in most circles to be a 6-month injury. Well, here we are. It's now March 13th. We're basically at the 6-month range. And so it is a very interesting question. Where is he in his recovery? Is it time? Sudsy, that might be something for your next, see if you can get somebody on somebody special on to talk about, when he may return.
He will be on the show soon.
He will be back.
He will be on the show soon. And, he's working on the recovery. He's working hard, and we will have Kane on the show along with others. We get messages. People want to know, how's Alvy doing? What's up with Alvy's elbow? Is he going to play? So they'll be on the show soon, Todd. So Todd, we always love having you, man. The knowledge you bring. I stand by this. I know there's different categories. Todd Boss, you should be in the Racquetball Hall of Fame. Leo, you touched on it earlier. There's different types and ways to get into our Racquetball Hall of Fame. And one of them is as a contributor, I believe.
Yes.
Todd, I tell you, whether I like you, love you, hate you, the work you do for Racquetball and have done, nobody else has ever done. Nobody else does it. And you're creating an avenue or the ability for our sport to go down in history, no matter where it goes. And, with your stats and all the work you put into it, indoor and outdoor, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for all you do. And I would certainly vote for you, to be in our Hall of Fame for that. So thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Todd. I share the same sentiments, man. It's like, make sure you leave us the password though. In case you get hit by a bus. We need to know the login and the password to keep it going. But no, man, you do such a great job, man. Not only with the website, but you do a great job with the previews, post, match, pre and post. So thank you for doing those. I know I try to share those. I do read them, by the way, and all you pro athletes, go follow and like his page so he can tag you. But thank you, Todd. I get up some mornings and there's some stuff I just don't want to do. But I know when I get up every morning, I know that you get up, you write that preview, you write that post follow up, you update that website. So thank you for doing that. That's commitment.
It's impressive.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. And thank you, of course, for being on the show. Amy Brewer says, hi, Todd, and thanks, Todd. Amy was awesome this weekend. Always fun. And Thomas, you were awesome. Great people. Can't wait to have you down here in Florida. But Todd, thank you again for being on the show. We're going to go to a quick commercial. Simone's going to bring us for a quick commercial, as always, Leo. And they love the Jules commercial. Todd, thanks for being here, buddy. We will see you soon.
Thank
We're
you.
going to take a quick commercial. We'll be back with Leo and I to close it out. Don't move. So we exist. You know, racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play.
Play racquetball.
It's great having Todd on, but after just seeing Jules again and loving that, Leo, and you've seen it, she was a rock star at the outdoor.
I bet.
She just wanted to go on the court. It was so cool, man. She would walk up to Daniel and say, "Can I have a racket?" And Daniel would give her a racket, and then she would be hitting with people and running around. DJ Mendoza, one of your guys. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
Team Dovetail.
$20. It's just so cute having her there. And Mateo was running on the court, but man, is it stressful. It's hard. And that's what makes Veronica's win more impressive. She's literally doing so much. And of course I'm trying to do everything I can to help, but it was hot, and Jules, love it. She was out there, she was playing, hitting balls on the wall, and we missed you, Leo. You would have had a good time. But
Yeah, I can't imagine how she was. I've been around her before. I've seen her attitude around people and around the court. So I was gonna try to find a picture that I got that was sent to me. I know you'll love it, and it's definitely Jules.
do you have to send it to Simone to post it, or?
Yeah, Simone, I'm gonna send it to you, and if you can, we're gonna pull it up real quick.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Simone, where is it? Yeah, it was cool. Jules was interactive, and the girls were great. Kalani, Holly took her to the bathroom for me once, and then how many times I saw, how they take the pictures of the players on the court, after a match or something. Who's right in the middle? Jules with a racket. She's
that was a picture that I saw. Team Dovetail took a picture.
Where is it?
And then Jules came, and she was right in the center of the picture. So,
well, get it up there. Let's go, Simone.
I can't find it. I was trying to send it to Simone, but I can't get it out of my phone.
Isn't that true? Arthur Schmeiser, what's up, buddy? It's so true, man. Well, Mateo is a mama's boy, and Jules is kind of like, I don't know, Leo, what do you think? Jules it depends what she needs in the moment. Yeah, Jules is fun. She's funny. So great having Todd on. Great. Maybe Simone will get that picture up. Leo, thoughts on tonight's show? I mean, I think it was informative. I think it was positive. Check out the 3-wall ball. We're going to be promoting a bunch of events here coming up soon. But before we do that, let's kind of recap.
Yeah, good show tonight. Like you said, thanks to Todd Boss for coming on. It's always great to hear his perspective and his opinion. I hope you guys don't mind my little banter back and forth with Todd. It's fun. We try to just be real here on the show. And I did think he's wrong. Not wrong about Paola finishing number 2, but totally wrong about her retiring. But that was fun. Yeah, no, I mean, she's going to do whatever she wants. Let's just put it that way. And like Daniel De La Rosa once told me, and some other people, if you really support me and you like me, you'll support me in anything that I do. So I'm the same way with Paola. If she leaves racquetball and goes to, bowling, then, guess who's going to go buy some bowling shoes and a new bowling ball. So the IRT and the LPRT, those were great recaps for us tonight. You guys, we asked you during the show, but drop them in the comments. We haven't given away a shirt in a while. So
I like
tonight,
that shirt you're wearing right there. How do we
that's
give
what
one of those away?
let's do that tonight. All right.
Okay.
Let's get to chat before we close the show. And even though the show ends, if you go back and watch it, you can still put your comment in the chat. Let's do this tonight. Sudsy and I want to know who's going to finish number 1 in the LPRT. Their season ends on June 30th. Drop your name down in the comments. Who's going to finish number 1? You make your pick. Paola, Monsi, Erica, Alexandra, whoever you want, drop their name down in there. And we won't wait till the season. Okay. We're just going to go draw a name, but we just want to know who you're going to pick. I will give you one of these. The new
Love
shirt.
that shirt. Fire.
Just dropped it. It's hot. It's white, full color. Racquetball. We are Racquetball. Kind of inspired by Sudsy's, just not the same slogan. And let's do the men too. All right. I'll throw in another one.
Ooh, Sean Duffy drops his comment already. Sean's
Look
in
at
it.
that. He's already ahead of the game. Who do you think is going to finish number 1 in the IRT this year?
They're
We want to
flowing
hear
in.
from you. You can put them together or you can put them separate. Maybe if you put them separate, maybe increases your chances of winning. But we'll draw one name for the LPRT, one name for the IRT, and I will personally hand make you one of these. In fact, I'll also throw in.
Don't throw Chewy in. Chewy's a good dog.
I'll throw in the famous decal that you guys have seen all over the internet. So we'll draw 2 winners, one for the LPRT, one for the IRT. You'll get a shirt and you'll get a decal. How's that?
That is super cool, Leo. Those shirts are great. I know you put a lot of time into it, and it's super cool to see that. So thank you for that. And beyond the court, Simone appreciates it. I appreciate it.
We're going to keep her busy.
Hopefully the fans appreciate it as well. Hey, Cyrus, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the nice comment. As always, great seeing you, Cyrus. Leo, do you know Cyrus?
Only through Facebook. He's a Facebook friend.
Great dude. He's a racquetball friend. And always positive out there.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Indoor, outdoor. Yeah, drop those comments in. Let's. Leo puts a lot of work into those shirts. Leo, we're going to be together this weekend again, live and in person.
Some work. Yeah, going to be doing some work. Might even do a live show. Hey, I also want to give a big shout out to Kelly Grimley. She hosted an event this past weekend called The Duel. It was held at the Glass Court Swim and Fitness. It was a really cool themed up thing. She gave away some cash money. She got some sponsors. She put it together. She mic'd up the players with a finger mic. I loved it.
It was cool.
It was awesome.
It was cool.
Kelly, you and everybody that helped you did an amazing job. Knights versus Warriors. I watched all weekend. I had my laptop with your stuff here. I had the stuff on the big screen. But Kelly Grimley, great job.
Yeah, great job, Kelly. Well done. That was pretty cool. I saw that. Love it. Love the microphone. I think we should mic up every player all the time. Just add to it. It would be super cool, in the highest level of competition too. Would you want to be a knight or a warrior, Leo?
A knight.
Me too.
Sounds more prestigious.
Yeah, I think there's something special about it. I mean, listen, can't be warrior is not a bad thing. Hey, Ruben, One Wall Ball. Thank you, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you and Amy doing some great stuff out there. Love it.
One Wall. I love his clothes, man. He does good color combos. I'm just a traditional guy, but I love his style. I love his color mixes. I love the way he lays his logos out. What is it? OneWallBall.com?
Yes, that's right there. OneWallBall.com. Check it out.
Yep.
OneWallBall.com. Yeah, he's good man. Does great work. If you need any clothing, if you need any court stickers, any banners, does it all. So, Ruben, yeah, good stuff. Good getting to hang with you this weekend a little bit. And hi, Amy. Amazing playing, man. Just absolutely one of the goats of our sport. Pretty cool. Look, I love the Hansons in there. Tim Hansen, Sarah Hansen.
What?
Look, and
Are they in here?
And just like Sarah,
they're trying to win a shirt.
Yeah, but what I love is this. Tim goes with Jake and Erica, and of course Sarah goes 2 totally different players.
Drop your prediction. I'm giving away one of these.
I'm shocked.
I love this shirt. It's a Gildan soft style too. I love this.
I love it too. I can't wait for you to bring me one.
I'm bringing you one just because you. Well, you give me all your I love all your shirts. I was gonna wear one tonight, but I figured I would I just launched this shirt. Awesome. So
I love it. I hope you sell 1,000 of them at least. So all right, Leo, any closing thoughts before we get out of here tonight?
Yeah, just want to say hi to the Hansons. I miss you guys.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so nice to see them.
I wish we could chat back and forth, man.
I know.
The last time I saw you guys, I had an amazing time. So thank you for the dinner. I love that. And dessert, always, Tim. No, Suds, thanks for having me on again. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget, drop those comments in. Win a shirt tonight. We'll draw it here in the next couple days. We'll let the comments fill up. We'll give everybody a chance to go win one, but we just want to know who you think is going to finish number 1 at the end of the season. Because believe it or not, when these things are over, Sudsy and I go through here and we look at all the, hey, did you see what he said? No, like that. No, oh yeah, comment back. And so thank you guys for keeping the chat flowing. We appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to my sponsors. I have some as well. Mike Courier. I'll see you guys this weekend. Obviously, Mark Frank. I got your video coming soon. Hey, do you think Mark would let us show that maybe?
I know he would.
Yeah, I would love to show that, Mark. We documented.
We'll do a sponsor spotlight and have a few of our sponsors on and interview them and really let the community see who they are and how we as a community can help them, because we need them around. You know, there's got to be some ROI. So
yeah. These are amazing people, and they have great ideas. And I kind of got to follow Mark around while he played doubles with Sudsy, and we're making a nice little documentary of it. We just released the first episode of it.
So cool.
But yeah, thank you, Mark. And Mike Kinkin, Team Dovetail.
$20. Venmo me.
That's my team. You guys know who we are, what we're about. Thank you for my team members that were in here tonight that checked in, said hello. Fran Davis had racquetball. Thank you guys. And Sudsy, thank you, man. Thanks for inviting me. Can't wait to see you guys this weekend. We're going to have some fun work to do. And thank you to all the fans. Thank you guys that messaged me and said, when are you and Sudsy going to do another show? Here it is. And we owe it all to the people that tuned in tonight. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll be back. So first off, Leo, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out. You know, we try to do everything we can to help you and make this worth your while outside of your love for the sport, which you do it for. And you bring so much to the beyond the court. And, you know, it's kind of becoming our thing together. So it's pretty awesome. Thanks for that. Todd Boss, guest, always a pleasure. Like I said, contributor, Hall of Fame member, racquetball. Go check it out. Is it ProRacquetballStats.com?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Go check it out. ProRacquetballStats.com. Pretty amazing what he does. Simone in the background. You know how important you are. We can't do this, Simone, without you. Keep it up. Keep up the great. Maybe we bring you on camera one day. Maybe we don't. You've always said you never will. Players and fans, all of you players and fans, we do it for you. I promise you. Leo and I, as much as we love racquetball, we do this because we love you. And, you know, we want to make sure you enjoy it. So hopefully you do. You keep enjoying it. My sponsors, obviously, KWM Gutterman, Weimar Performance Coatings. You'll hear more about that, which is performance chemicals. We'll talk about that. Of course, Frank Hotels, Mark Frank. Can't say enough about it. Thank you. We love you. Veronica, love of my life. I'll say it again. Every time somebody says to me, I'm so happy to have you in the sport, I tell them, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in the sport. I wouldn't be sitting here doing what I'm doing today. I would not have come back to it. And I love you to death. You're an amazing mother first. You're an amazing wife. And Leo, guess what we're going to do this weekend? We're going to celebrate Veronica's birthday on Sunday. So we will not be doing a show Sunday because it's her birthday.
Dessert.
And we will, you, myself, Marty Cruz, maybe Keith and Bailey and whoever else wants to fly in. I got a little plan. Maybe we'll go do something fun, but we're going to celebrate Veronica this Sunday for her birthday. I love you. I love you, Jules. I love you, Mateo. I love you, racquetball. I love you indoor. I love you outdoor. And never forget that, okay? Because without you, what do we really have? You know, we have each other. So have an amazing night and enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you soon. All right?
Big Al, your stickers are on the way, man. On the way.
So we exist. You know, racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play.